Okay, so 3 months ago, I found myself sitting at my computer. I found myself sitting at my computer, my head resting on my hand like this, and I was clicking away. I was browsing through Facebook, and I found myself really annoyed. I was looking through my feed, and I was asking myself, who are these people? I mean, there's Lisa from the 4th grade, who I saw like once in 4 years, and then there's Michael from soccer, who haven't seen for even longer, and then other people, like just random people all over the place, and they're flooding my feed. I don't care about these people. These people aren't my friends. And I think something about this is that a lot of people here can relate to this because we all have Facebooks, and I'm pretty sure we all have friends we have Facebook friends that we don't really know or care about. And so, at the end of this experience, I ended up being so frustrated and just annoyed with Facebook that I actually just deleted my Facebook. And this experience has led me to want to learn more about how social networks work and how I think they don't work, in fact. And today, I want to explain to you that how social networks promote narcissistic values, how they really just care about how the number of friends you have rather than the quality of friends, and how they actually isolate people. So let's begin with some things that Facebook does. Some things that Facebook do. Yeah. So there's features like the status update where you can post what is on your mind and tag yourself and your friends and checking in. See, I think this constant updating of your life on the internet doesn't really make you more social with your friends. It actually makes you just more narcissistic. See, your status updates, think about what they are. They're things like, oh, I just got tickets to this, or I'm going to that, I got these, I don't know, new shoes or whatever. And then you're tagging yourself in pictures from last night, your friends, you're talking about how fun that was, and you're checking into restaurants or out at movie theaters. I mean, you're being social with the people in those events. You're not being more social with the people on the internet. In fact, in a recent CQ Researcher article, Social Networking, a recent survey shows that a large number of young people say their main goal is just being famous. In addition, Scott Kaplan, Associate Professor of Communications at the University of Delaware, explains that it becomes more important to impress people with the minute details of your life than to engage in a real back and forth communication. With Facebook, it's not a back and forth communication, it's just a wall that you're posting things to. You're not communicating with anybody, you're just kind of explaining what you do on a day-to-day experience. So now that we see how Facebook and social networking sites in general promote narcissistic values, let's find out how they actually just care about the number of friends you have rather than the quality of friends. See, the social networking sites have a goal of just producing traffic so that they can sell ad space. You can see that on Facebook with those things on the sides. They're really personalized advertising towards you alone. And this shows how they just care about one thing, and that's producing traffic. In a Daily Beast article, columnist Thomas E. Weber explains an experiment that his company did, actually. They wanted to find out what it takes to get on the newsfeed and the top newsfeed of all your friends. And in the month-long experiment, they had a control of, they made a new account, and that was the control. They would see what you had to do exactly for that account to get on the newsfeed of the more popular people who had 600 plus friends and stuff. So generally, they wanted to see what would it take for that one person to get on the newsfeed of everyone else. And in this month-long experiment, they found a couple of things that affected news feeds. One of them was when you posted outside links and you posted photos and videos. And what this does is, by clicking on these links and these outside photos, you are sent to another website, so that later you're forced to come back and then there's new ad space. So it's just ways for them to cater to more advertisers. And then another thing that I thought was more interesting was that the people who were considered popular kids or had more friends on Facebook, they would never see these person status updates. So what happens is that they always see the status updates of the popular people, the ones who have a bunch of friends, and that they have, and they would find out that they have friends in common, these second-tier friends. Facebook explains, one of the things that they promote is becoming friends with second-tier friends. What I mean is that the premise that person A is friends with person B, and then person B is friends with person C, so that means that person A can be friends with person C. And this isn't necessarily true, because we all know people who have friends, we all have friends that they're friends with people that we don't really care for, right? So Facebook, it shows that link, and then they expect you to want to be friends with them just because you kind of know them and stuff. And then in another article, Cyber Socializing, Maria Clement, written by Maria Clement, technology entrepreneur Christopher Allen explains how it's not the number of connections, but the quality, which I think everyone would kind of agree with. So now that we see and understand how Facebook explains how Facebook promotes narcissistic values, and that they really just care about the number of friends rather than the quality of friends, let's see what they actually do. Now, social networking sites don't actually help people become more social with their networks, but instead they isolate them. This is because they just promote narcissistic values and promote the quantity of friends rather than quality. And in an article, a social networking, Stanford University Institute for Quantitative Study of Society explains that for every hour that we spend online, we lose about 23.5 minutes of face-to-face time with our friends and our family. So now that we know a lot more about social networking sites and how they promote narcissistic values and the quantitative number of friends rather than quality of friends, we can I think I've shown that social networking sites actually isolate people rather than help you more social. Thank you.
Joshua Lynn, you didn't come in, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You got here in time to hear?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, just double checking. All right, it's up to you.
Okay, I like the topic. It's pretty interesting. Throughout the whole entire presentation, I have pretty good yours. I like how we go back to resources. Your resources seem pretty reliable. Your transitions are pretty clear, so I like that. I like how you were able to communicate with people, so you made a lot of eye contact. And yeah, well, you use. Let me call it that you use a lot of thumbs. Yeah, so sort of that.
Thank you.
Well, I like the story that you get us started with, and I thought you transitioned to the topic pretty well. This is really a claim of fact that you're talking about, and I